people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we're going to be going over what I would like to see happen in World of Warships in 2021. A good chunk of these are kind of just quality of life improvements that I think the game really needs, and then the rest are mostly content, things that I would like to see added into the game, and a couple of balancing issues too. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get right on into it. So first off, I think the game needs much better optimization. Now, I know this game does kind of cater, especially in the graphics department, toward very low-end rigs, and I understand that, but there's lots of time in the game when either there's just one or too many explosions on screen, or I zoom into an island and there's some trees in the way, and the game really takes a hit on performance, and I'm running on a 2080 Ti with 32 gigabytes of RAM and an i9 9900K processor. This is the same PC that I edit on with 4K video, so there really shouldn't be any point when I'm playing World of Warships where the frame rate should drop down at all, really. And I mean, I don't know if it's just the engine or whatever, but that really shouldn't be happening. I mean, if I can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on this PC at high settings in 1440p with a constant 60 FPS no matter what I'm doing, then this really shouldn't be happening in this game. I think it would improve the game overall for everybody. I mean, I don't really see a downside to optimizing the game. Along with optimizing the game, I'd also like to see some improved graphics from the game. This game is now 5 years old, and it still looks pretty decent by those standards, and even looking at other games available on the market, this is a pretty good looking game, especially in some points and times, like in the Operation Ranubung video. There were some really pretty shots that we managed to get out of that scenario that we were doing there with the Bismarck, especially when we were leaving port. Even now and then when I go back and look at that video, just those opening shots of Bismarck and the Prince Eugen leaving port with the DD escorts, oh god, it looks great. But in game, when you're playing, there's really are quite a few places that you don't want to look at too hard because the game really starts to show its age. So a graphic update would be very much welcome. Perhaps even an entire overhaul like what our tanks got. I think that was, almost a year ago now, or just coming upon a year ago now. That would be very nice if we could crank this game up to those standards. And I think it could most certainly be done. I mean, hey, again, they did it with water tanks pretty easily. Alright, next, also going along with this line, is a lot of older ships in the game really need some reskins or HD overhauls. Kind of like what happened with Yami a little while ago. If you guys don't know, Yami got an entire new skin. HD skin. It looks absolutely great. And this really needs to happen to a good chunk of ships in the game, especially like the Montana, the other oldest battleship in the game. It really looks old if you take a look at her model. Again, from afar, she looks fine. But if you get up close like you are when you're playing the ship, you can really see that like there's a lot of low texture areas. You can't see into her bridge and things like that, like you can see on newer ships and such. So older ships like the Montana, a lot of the older cruiser and destroyer lines, they really need some love in the graphics department. So I think if that would happen, that would be great. And again, not really a pressing issue for the game, but just some quality of life improvements that would, I think, help the game out in the long run. Alright, next up, getting to the new content. So as we all know, submarines are coming to the game, and there doesn't seem to be any changing Wargaming's mind about that. And depending upon where you stand on that issue, that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think if submarines are going to be added, they might as well go all out, and they very well may be planning to. So I think ships like the Surcouf and the I-400 should be added in, either as premium ships, reward ships, tech line ships, or whatever. I mean, hey, if you're going to do it, might as well go out, and you might as well get some pretty cool historical ships in the game. That's what's really cool about the Surcouf. It was the weird French submarine cruiser. If you ever see this ship, which I'm sure there are a couple of pictures of it up on screen right here, it's a submarine that has a aircraft hangar on it, and it also has an 8-inch turret on it. I think this would be a pretty interesting ship to get in the game. I'm not sure where it would be at tier-wise, probably tier 7 or 8-ish, around there. And again, it's a real historical ship, despite how crazy it looked. It's from that crazy period in history where all nations in Europe were just doing really strange things with submarines, and the Surcouf isn't even the most crazy out of that time period. But it's a real ship. It's a historical ship and a very unique ship, and I think it should be added into the game. Again, if you're doing submarines, might as well go all out. I know some people won't be too excited about this, but again, if they're doing it, might as well get some cool stuff in while we're at it. And of course the I-400, which that class was actually the largest class of submarines until we started to get nuclear power subs, and these were aircraft carrier submarines. Now they can only carry 3 planes, so I'm not exactly sure if it would fit into that hybrid class like we're getting with the SA and the Tona, but it could just be a very large submarine, or they could make it a weird hybrid. I don't think it would work out with only 3 planes, but I think it would be interesting to have them in the game. Again, real submarines, real historical ships, and I think it would be cool to see them in the game. Alright, next up, I would very much like to see a battle cruiser line or class added into the game. I think the easiest way, like I've discussed in previous videos, to do this is to simply add in battleship tech tree splits, to where the tech tree would split out, maybe like for the Americans around tier, well, might as well do it at tier 7, the Colorado, to where we can have a battle cruiser line, and this would add in so many historical ships that were really built, especially for countries like the United Kingdom. That would do, wow, I mean, you could add in so many ships then at that point, real ships too, so people would be very happy at that as well. But many European nations, you could add in plenty of battle cruisers in there, and like Japan too. You could kind of redo the Japanese battleship tree, because like I was mentioning the other day, the Japanese battleship tree is just like this weird rotation of, okay, this is an actual battleship, this is a battle cruiser, this is a battleship, this is a battle cruiser, and you could have an actual battle cruiser line, or you could also give them the opportunity to maybe add in some more battleships into the Japanese battleship tech tree. So I think that's something that a lot of players have really been waiting for, is a proper battle cruiser class. I think especially too with the new commander system coming out, to where our current super cruisers slash battle cruisers that are defined as cruisers in game, they're really getting shafted in skills that really benefit them. So if they would do it this way, we could have battle cruisers that could still take battleship skills that would suit them pretty darn well. Alright, next thing, I think they need to add in pan-EU cruisers. Again, a lot of European nations had pretty decent navies in the early 20th century, so you could add in a whole host of new, real ships here. And they could be pretty good ASW ships, just like the Pan-EU DD line is going to be pretty terrifying at anti-submarine warfare. The same could be applied to these cruisers, and it'd be a nice way to kind of counter the submarines that will be added into the game, I don't know when, for going at, well, honestly, Wargaming hasn't said any much about submarines very recently. The Commander rework seems to be taking front and center stage right now, and I guess it does make sense. They need to get that out with, I'm guessing, submarine skills that they haven't even shown us yet, before they can go ahead and throw submarines into the game just yet. So Pan-EU cruisers would be very nice to see. Also, maybe even pan-EU DDs. Plenty of European countries, again in the early 20th century, gotta love that arms race that was going on right before World War I started, had dreadnoughts, and, well, not too many had battleships afterwards, but I mean, I'm sure Wargaming could make up something that hasn't stopped them before. Alright, next, I would also like to see new game modes. For the love of God, please, some new game modes. Game modes like arms race are pretty much to the point to where I don't know why they're not in the game just yet, or thrown in with the random battles rotation. But even, you know, modes that we've kind of seen a glimpse of in the past, convoy escorts would be really nice. They teased that a little while ago. It was like you would have a team of surface ships and a team of submarines, and the submarines would outnumber the surface ships, but the surface ships would actually get to respawn. The submarines wouldn't, so that'd be pretty cool, and you'd be escorting an AI convoy along a set path. I think that'd be pretty cool to get added into the game. I mean, you can only play the same game mode so many times, and of the three that we have right now, I think most of us are getting pretty weary of those 3 game modes, so new game modes would be absolutely fantastic. Maybe even a type of battle royale like we saw with the the portal event, or what was it? Not the what was it called? Portal, the breach or whatever it was. I actually really enjoyed that, and I think a lot of people did. A lot of the issues that I saw with it was that the rewards weren't really fair all that much, or not good enough. But if they could add that in some way, I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously not the same sci-fi theme, but maybe like a more World War II theme. I'm sure they could figure something out. Also along these lines, I would like to see bigger teams. I know they commented on this a while ago. They said that like it's a problem with the engine. And with submarines being added in, a big issue is that if you have 2 submarines on each side, then that's 4 less surface ships in the match altogether, and that's a lot of health out of the match too, and a lot of ships that you will probably never see if you're a surface ship. So they could remedy this by increasing the team size. 16v16 would be a nice way to even that out, and I think they could even push for 24 versus 24. Think about that, a 48 player World of Warships match. That'd be something freaking cool, I think. Large-scale naval battles, actually large-scale naval battles with 24 ships on either side. That'd be pretty cool, I think, if they could pull that off. But again, I know they've said like it's an engine problem, but hey, maybe it's time to overhaul the engine. I would also like to see some type of either improvement or overhaul to the AA system. Maybe not a drastic overhaul like we saw with the CV rework, but some type of improvement, because AA right now is very inconsistent. I think both sides of the spectrum would like more consistent AA. AA right now seems to either just tickle the planes very slightly or just be an impenetrable wall of flak. So something more consistent there would be very, very nice. Also, of course, an overhaul to the fighters. The fighters are just really just a joke right now. They don't latch on fast enough, and then even when they do latch on, they just get outran by the planes. I know they are increasing the speed of the fighter consumable for the CVs. I don't know if they're increasing the speed of the catapult fighters. They didn't say in that last update, so more stuff along that line would be very, very, very much appreciated. And lastly, I would very much like to see in 2021 the USS Johnston get added into the game. This is DD with one heck of a story, with the battle off of Samara that really deserves to be in this game as a premium ship or some type of reward ship. It's very simple. Take a Fletcher, slap some Johnston markings on there, give it some special traits because of it being the Johnston. Heck, label it as a battleship for all I care. I mean, it was a battleship in my heart, you know, with all that it went through with the battle off of Samar, and have Commander Evans as the captain, and maybe give him some special captain skills like a better adrenaline rush, an improved last stand, or whatever else would be fitting to their legacy and their story. And this is something that I think many of us have been waiting for a very, very, very long time to get added to the game. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see added to World of Warships in 2021 in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 25,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I will be live streaming right here from 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time until 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time tonight on the channel and on Twitch, so please come out and join us on stream tonight. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.